Hello, everyone. Welcome back to lecture number 2. This is Abdullah Lagari, working as a lecturer at Department of English, Qaidam University. And in previous lecture, we talked about writing skills, and in that lecture, we also talked about the general techniques how to improve writing skills. And I must tell you that that was a lecture that was just the general techniques. And in today's talk, is per students' requests, we will be talking about the importance of vocabulary building techniques, and how to read dawn newspaper. Now, to begin with, first of all, I will be waiting for the response of all the students. Let's sketch everyone. If you are there, everyone, I would like you to give me different gestures. Yes, thank you very much. Rafi Jamali and Arain Saab is also there. Sarwan, Wakar Ahmad, Ashfaq Sumro Saab from Malaysia. Thank you very much, dear. Yes, everyone, we are going to start our second talk, that is on vocabulary building techniques. To begin with, in this lecture, I will be talking about the general techniques about building vocabulary, and then it will be the strategies or approaches to read dawn newspaper. And please, thank you very much, Ali Imran, one of my colleagues at Qaidam University. Please mention all those friends and all those who are interested in the class. And you can also share this post also. Yes, mention all those who are interested in this class. Yes. Now, let's begin with, in today's class, as I said, it will be about vocabulary building techniques. Now, first of all, we will talk about the importance of vocabulary. Now, what is that that drives us to learn vocabulary? Because vocabulary is what that is daily needed in terms of writing, in terms of speaking, in terms of reading and writing. In all those 4 skills, we do need vocabulary. If we have good vocabulary, we can read and understand it well. And we can speak well also. We can express whatever we want to, because there are certainly so many things that roam around, and we need rich vocabulary in order to explain what we want to. And we need good vocabulary to express ourselves in case of writing and in case of listening as well. If we have good vocabulary, we can listen it, we can understand that, and we can express ourselves very well if we have very good vocabulary. There are various approaches existing in our educational settings in school, college, or university levels in terms of teaching vocabulary. What I have realized that there have been traditional approaches that are less applicable there, and that's why I thought it's need to go for vocabulary building techniques. Thank you, Hassan Murtaza Ansari sir, one of my friends. Thank you, Amir Jan, and Shazeb Rajpar from Quest Media, very active student. And yes, thank you, everyone. Now, before I begin, I would like you to write in the comment, why do you need vocabulary? Why do you need vocabulary? Any one comment about vocabulary. Why do you need that? I'm giving you just 60 seconds, 1 minute. Yes, I'm giving you 1 minute, and I would be requesting you to mention all those friends who are interested in the class. Yes. Yes, why do we need vocabulary? I'm giving you 60 seconds. Yes, I'm giving you 60 seconds. Yes, I'm speaking. I'm very slow since I find all the audience here. Then I will be there up to your task. Yes, right. Mazhar Abbas, Mazhar Abid says we need vocabulary to communicate with each other, right? Yes, we need vocabulary to communicate. And then I cannot see the responses. Let's wait for the responses and then I'll be starting. Yes, Azhar Jalbani says to express our thoughts. Yes, wonderful, wonderful dear. And Ali Raza, lecturer in English, says for writing, for understanding, for comprehending, speaking, and even qualifying for exams, we need vocabulary. Yes, you're right. For communicating, yes, that's wonderful. And we want to speak English fluently. Yes, one of the strong reasons of building vocabulary. Yes, you're right. You're right. Welcome, Ismail Rahu, one of my colleagues. Using vocab, we can write, we can speak, and we can, yes, understand it well. Yes. Ashfaq Saab says vocabulary is the epicenter among all 4 language skills. Yes, wonderful. You're right. Vakar Bhatti says creates content in our mind. Wonderful. Understanding the reading. Yes, right. Azam Almani Saab, welcome back. Welcome to join us. Yes, Ghulam Sarwar Bhatti from Kaidevam University. Yes, wonderful. That's right. I hope that you've got the idea. So why do we need vocabulary? And now let's begin with, and I will be talking about, yes, fine, for communication and for sharing views to one another. That's right. And it helps to understand what other people are saying. Yes, that's exactly, yes. Now, let's go ahead. So as far as the vocabulary building is concerned, in today's talk, I will be talking about the general techniques to build vocabulary. And I would like everyone to have registers in front of you to point out all those important areas that we are discussing in our class. And I would like you to practically adopt those things in your daily routine also. Now, as far the uses of vocabulary are, the very first thing is the vocabulary is very helpful and it is very advantageous. It is very useful because it, number one, enriches our thoughts. And number two, it brings innovation in our write-ups. Fine. See, if we are lack of vocabulary, what do we do? For example, we keep repeating the same words, and that somehow gives an awkward, what we say, understanding of our write-ups. For example, if there's innovation in our write-ups, then what happens? For example, the things become quite impressive for the reader. Right. And number three is a good vocabulary can help us what we mean. Yes. You need words because words are what that can help you to express yourselves, and for that purpose we need a good vocabulary, right? And another use of vocabulary building is vocabulary learned effectively remains a part of our long-term memory. Yes, see, there are two, psychologically speaking, there are two types of memories. For example, there is short-term memory and then there's long-term memory. And if you learn vocabulary effectively, means in an effective manner, in such a manner that vocabulary helps you out to write and to speak as well. So this, I believe, this vocabulary becomes the part of your language, right? And this becomes also the part of your long-term memory. And in that sense, it's very helpful, right? So regarding the use of vocabulary, I said it enriches your thoughts. It brings innovation in your write-ups and it helps you out what you exactly mean. And finally, it becomes a part of your long-term memory. Next, now how to build or how to improve that vocabulary? What are those techniques? As far as the techniques of vocabulary are, the very first technique is to explore the word origins, to find out the origins of the words. For example, we can say investigate the etymology of words. So what is the origin of those words? For example, let's say the word is necessary. The word is necessary, right? And another word is unnecessary, right? From one word we can make so many words, but it's very important to know the origin of that word, right? For example, as I said, word is necessary. From that one word we can make another word, right? Unnecessary. For example, necessity is a noun. For example, necessarily as an adverb. From one word we can find out so many words. Let's say the word is construct, right? Construct is a verb. From that construct we can form another word like construction by adding tion, right? We can form another word also from construct, constructive, right? And in this way, the very first thing that can help us out to improve our vocabulary is to explore the word origins. See, when you explore or when you know the origins of the word, even if you go through the one word, and that one word helps you out to understand so many words, because all those words, they have family, right? As humans, animals, and other nouns have what we say families. Similarly, the words have also families. So it will be much better and helpful for all of us as ESL learners to know the what we say the origin of those words, right? And number two technique to improve vocabulary is read every day. So try to read a well-written and edited essay, magazine, article, book, news articles, and write-ups or stories. These days, so many friends of ours are writing on social media, like on Facebook. So through reading, so read every day. See, when you're reading every day, for example, what happens, you will be certainly coming across through so many new words, right? You will have so many new words. So when you're reading, you're finding new words. This is also very helpful. See, as it says, the saying goes on, reading is the key to learning. The more you read, the more you improve your vocabulary. Your vocabulary depends on your reading. If your reading is extensive, so your vocabulary can also be rich enough. So your vocabulary depends on the reading. For example, if your reading is limited to one discipline or one subject, again, I would suggest you, for example, if you belong to English literature, I would be suggesting you to read English linguistics also, to read many other readings of different disciplines. The question is how to improve vocabulary. Yes, I will be certainly answering your questions at the end or in the middle. I will be giving you a chance also. Fine. Yes. And technique number 3 is read everything and read quite often, right? Everything, I mean, you should read the books of different disciplines, right? You should not restrict yourselves to one discipline. Let's say English linguistics, or let's say psychology, or let's say sociology, right? You should not go for any one subject, right? If your reading is diverse, for example, what happens, your vocabulary will be improved, and you will come to know, or you will explore so many new words that will certainly help you out to express yourself. And from this, you will be, what we say, you will have a sound understanding of different readings as well. Now, technique number 4 is use new words in your own writing and speaking. See, you've gone through, you've read something, and then what you need to do is that, for example, keep register there, and if you're finding new words, try to write them down on your register, and then try to use them in your writing. For example, you're writing anything, right? Try to use those words that you have understood or that you have got from that write up. And even if you're speaking, you're saying something, so what you need to do is that you should use those new words. You know, by doing this, what happens, for example, those words become the part of your own language, right? So this is a better strategy, and that this is a practical approach, right? And this is quite helpful. Otherwise, what happens, the vocabulary becomes a part of your short-term memory. If you want your vocabulary to be the part of your long-term memory, then what you have to do, you have to use those new words in your own writing and in your own speaking. And now, everyone, I'm giving you a word to make sentence on. For example, the word is the word is destruction, right? The word is destruction. Can you give me the word on sentence on the word destruction? Yes, destruction and destructive. Destruction is a noun, whereas destructive is an adjective. Right. So give me a sentence on the word destruction and another sentence on the word destructive. Yes, I'm giving you a minute. Yes, look at the destruction of hurricanes. Wonderful, wonderful, Naseem, wonderful. I have to get remember new words. Yes, I'm coming on this, Arisha. I'm coming on this. Yes, give me a sentence on the word destruction. That is a noun. And another sentence on a word destructive. Yes, you are given 60 seconds. Just a sentence on word destruction. Naseem has given a sentence on the word destruction. Yes, how can you find a word? How can you make a sentence on the word destruction? The hurricane had lead destructive results in New Mexico. Sarwan, wonderful. And Azhar says people are destructing their time by using social media. Yes, wonderful. That's right. Never try to destruct poverty. Wonderful, Naseem. Naseem is leading today. Wonderful. And yes, let's find the sentences from other members. Yes. If you understand it, give likes or hearts. Yes, everyone. Try to destruct poverty stricken people's houses. Yes, exactly. Right. Right. Yes, anyways. Fine. I said read everything and read quite often. Yes, another sentence has come from every clash comes with destructive results. Yes, you're right. See, for example, destruction. There will be destruction of ours if you use or if you misuse the social media, right? Our government's destructive approaches in this critical time can ruin our generation, right? Yes. Anyways, fine. And now let's go ahead. Another strategy is read everything and read quite often. See, reading frequently both in and out of the classroom will help strengthen your vocabulary. What to read? For example, you can read books. For example, you can read journals. You can read, magazines. You can read blogs also. You can read any other source. You can even read from the Google also. See, once you're reading, through reading, this will be quite helpful to find new words. And if you're working out on them, that can be the help of your, policies are very destructive person. Right. Fine. And another technique is to improve your vocabulary, to build up your vocabulary, is using flashcards. See, this was even the question of one of our members also, one of our viewers as well. See, make flashcards. Flashcards are quite helpful in remembering whatever the words you have gone through. For example, see, can you see these flashcards? Yes? Yes, flashcards are there. Let's say you have read something one day, all right? On every day, if you are working on 5 to 10 words, for example, write 10 words, or you write the word here on the one part, right? On the other part, you will be writing the definition or the meaning of that word, right? For example, you're writing the word here, and on the other part, you're writing the meaning of that word, and you're making a sentence on them. Let's say in one day, you have remembered 10 words, right? And in a week, how many words can you remember? If you remember 10 words a day, how many words can you remember a week? Yes, how many words can you remember a week if you remember 10 words regularly? Yes, how many? GM Jalali sir, thank you very much. Yes, 70 words. Fine, exactly. Yes. See, the issue is how to retain that vocabulary. So what happens, for example, the words we remember, and after a week or two or a month, we forget about the words we have gone through. So this is quite bad, right? You need to retain those words. Yes, 70 exactly. You need to retain those words. So yes, Arisha, 70 words. So one of the most effective techniques to how 80, it can be 70. Fine. So one of the techniques to remember those words is using flashcards. Can you see these flashcards? Let's say 10 flashcards regularly, right? They becomes let's say 70 flashcards in a week. So what happens, for example, you should randomly ask yourself or give these flashcards to one of your family members or to your friends. They should be asking you these words, right? So these are such words that you have worked out, that you have written down from your readings, right? When you frequently read something and then you're working on those words that you've gone through, right? And this way, and this is the most effective technique, using flashcards. 70 words a month, a week, and how many words a week, a month? Somebody says 300 words a month, right? And this way, because psychologically speaking, everything is with love, with attachment. If you are in keen attachment with the words, and you are in touch with the words, what will happen? These words will be the part of your language, in terms of speaking and in terms of writing as well. So whatever you're writing, you should try to use those words you have remembered, and when you're speaking, you should also use those words, right? And another technique is to remember the words is keep a journal. So journal won't just help you to develop your writing style, but it will help you to improve your vocabulary. Try to use new or interesting words you have learned. Sometimes what happens, for example, you're reading an article, right? You're reading an article, and not necessarily you should go for every word, but as I said, you should go for the words according to your capacity. For example, your capacity is to go for 10 words or 15 words, not more than that, right? So write down those words and try to understand the use of those words also. And you should also be trying to use them in your spoken English, use them in your written English also. As I already told you that this way, or through this approach, through flashcards and through the use of word in your language, they will be the part of your long-term memory, and they will be the part of your language. Right. And develop practical vocabulary. This means you should start by learning words, by engaging yourself in writing a little task. See, if you're the beginners, for the beginners, I would suggest you just to memorize the words, but not in a way you memorize the words, you don't understand the meaning of those words, and even you don't understand the use of those words. Yes, you must understand the meaning, and you should be able to use them in your own sentences as well. And then you should write something. For example, you have read an article, short article, right? After you are done with it, you have worked on your vocabulary also. Now write that article in your own words and try to use all those words that you have learned now. So what happens in this way, you will be able to use all those words you have learned from that particular article. And another technique is edit your own writing. For example, you have written something. After you finish writing, be your own editor. How? Editing is an important process for spotting writing errors. For example, you have read something, all right, and you have worked on that, and you have written something. Now revise whatever you have written, right? After revision, what will happen? For example, you can certainly bring some errors on surface. You will be spotting those errors, you will be identifying those errors, and edit those errors and edit your write-up. This will be quite helpful, quite beneficial, in a way that you will be in touch those words, and that those words will be the part of your language. And showing what words occur together. See, another important thing about vocabulary building is because all the time we use the same words. See, for everything we say good, for everything we say bad. Good and bad, right? We are not out of this good and bad. So this shows that we are with very limited vocabulary. Try to expand the use of different words. Try to bring innovation in them. How to do that? For example, because words they cannot go with every word, right? And words, they have what we say association. One word has got association with another word, right? The same word could not be, you cannot use good with every noun. You cannot use pleasant with every noun. In English linguistics, we call them collocation, right? What is it? Collocation. Collocation is when two or more words, they are commonly used together, right? Information of collocation is quite hard, and that can hardly come for we people, since we are the non-native speakers. For native speakers, because they are born with this language and they have this capability of collocation, that what word can be associated with another word, right? This knowledge of collocation is quite hard, but again, it's quite necessary for all of us to know that what word can be collocated or what word can co-occur with another word. So for example, I'm giving you some examples, right? See, when you talk about the use of make and do, when you talk about the use of make and do, I would like you to make sentences using make. Make sentences on the word make, and give me other sentences using do. Make sentences using the word make. Yes, make sentences using the word make, and give me sentences on do. Make and do. Yes, I'm giving you just 60 seconds. Yes, everyone. Carpenter makes chairs out of wood. Yes. Wonderful, Mazhar. Wonderful. Yes, likewise, give me other sentences on the word make. I am making biryani today. Wow, that's wonderful. 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 She makes tea. Yes. She's the one who always makes tea. Right. Yes. And now give me sentences on do. So these were the sentences on make. And now give me the sentences on do. Thank you very much, Sir Ali Sir. So make a call on telephone. Sorry, I cannot. Fine, wonderful. Wonderful, Altaf. Make a call, yes. And you're making videos charming and interesting. Oh, really? Wow, wonderful. Yes, Naseem, I shall make tea for you. Sure, sure. Yes, Asif. I do research, yes. So first use was on make and then it was on do. Ali does his job from last 2 years. Wonderful. We are making our time in useful things. That's really good, Azhar. And he does his daily assignments on time. Great, that's brilliant. Yes, give me sentences on make and do. I'm trying to build understanding about collocation. That is actually the concept of co-occurring of words together, because it's not that much easy. Sindh government doing very well, yes, in this critical COVID pandemic situation. Fine, that's wonderful. Yes, do the due, sir. Fine, fine. Yes, right, everyone. Wonderful, wonderful. It's excellent. It's my pleasure to see you all actively participating. Right. I can give you other sentences also, because the main thing is to clear your concept of collocation, that we say words co-occur together. See, if you make a sentence using make, for example, to make the bed. To make the bed. I need to make the bed every day, right? And sentence on homework. See, do homework. See, my sister does her homework after dinner. And make some efforts. See, these are the words. This is how we can. Economy of Europe shrinking due to crisis of the year. Right. Fine. And let's go ahead. So the same thing, that is collocation. See, for example, we cannot say that the train is fast. Can you say the train is fast? Can you say the train is quick? Quick train and quick food. Can you say quick train and quick food? We cannot say, because quick cannot occur with train, and another quick can also not occur with food. We say fast food. We say, yes, train runs fast. Fine. We can say also fast train. Express is a fast train, right? And we are addicted to fast food. We cannot say we are addicted to quick food, though they have the similar meanings, right? But see, the knowledge of co-occurring of words together is collocation, and that's very, very important, right? How does that knowledge come? Better to use a good dictionary or through extensive reading. The more you read, the more knowledge of collocation you can gain. It must carry verb, right? Similarly, for example, we cannot say, can you say fast shower or fast meal? Can you say fast shower or fast meal? Fast shower. It's a fast shower. Or It's a fast meal. So we can say quick shower, a quick meal, because here in this context, the word fast cannot, collocate or occur with the noun shower. We can say a quick shower. We cannot say a fast shower. Similarly, there are other words also. For example, you cannot say downright satisfied. You can say completely satisfied. So for example, I am completely satisfied with my job. She is completely satisfied with her services. Parents are completely satisfied with their children's performance. So can you give me a sentence on using completely satisfied? Yes, if you're there, give me sentences on a sentence, just a sentence on completely satisfied. Yes, a sentence on completely satisfied. Yes, Farhad. Give me a sentence on completely satisfied. Like Farhad is completely satisfied with his literary work. Azhar is completely satisfied with his degree. Yes, anyways, fine. And next, for example, a surge of anger. We cannot say a rush of anger. Yes, we are completely satisfied with your own classes, online classes. Wonderful. I'm completely disagreed. I'm completely satisfied with your ideas. Thank you very much. And fine. I'm completely satisfied from her education. Right. Yes, Nabida, fine. And yes, for example, another example on collocation. See, as I said, collocation is actually the knowledge in which what happens. For example, a word can co-occur, or a word can, be used in association with another word, right? And that information is with the native speakers better than we people, because since we are the non-native speakers of English. See, another word is, for example, another collocation is like a rush of anger. Can we say a rush of anger? We say a surge of anger, right? A surge of anger. Fine. And another example is, see, lions shout. Do you agree that we can say lions shout? Lions shout. Right. We often say lions roar, right? A lion roars. Lions roar. Right. Yes, can you give me a sentence using lions roar? Lions roar. Fine. Fayaz Bidland. Yes, give me sentences using the word roar with lions, because we cannot use the word shout with lions. Lion roars. Fine. See, this information, the combination of word roar with lion is said, this information is said to be the collocation. Yes. Give me sentences on lion roars. Lion roars in the jungle, right? Fine. And for suicide, what word do we use for suicide? Do the suicide? What word do we use with suicide? Do suicide, or make suicide, or undertake suicide, or what? For example, he did suicide. Is that fine? Fine, fine. They rover, shouting sounds differently, right? A lion roars when he's angry. Fine, fine. That's right. Now let's come on the word, what is it? I said suicide. Yes, can you say do suicide, make suicide? What particular word, that particular word that you use with suicide? Yes, exactly. Commit suicide, fine. I'm completely fine. Fayaz says commit suicide. Can you give me a sentence on that? Commit suicide. Because we cannot say do suicide, make suicide, neither undertake suicide, right? Rather, we can say commit suicide. Yes, Arisha, that's fine, commit suicide. Now, can you give me a sentence on commit suicide? Yes, she committed suicide. Fine. Yes. Wonderful. That's fine. You've given me the word with the noun suicide, commit suicide, fine. But now what I want you to do is that I want you to give me a sentence using both the words together, commit suicide. Give me a sentence. Yes. A sentence using commit suicide. He committed suicide due to educational pressure. Oh, fine. That's right, Mazhar. That's fine. Excellent. Yes. Commit suicide. He committed suicide due to hunger. These days that is very common. Due to joblessness. Yes, fine. So other sentences. Committing suicide is a sin in Islam. That's fine. She commits suicide due to severe problems. Right. Why we use the word commit? Fine. And likewise, there's another, combination of words together. For example, tears. She committed suicide due to depression. Fine. Tears. Can you say blow up in tears? What do you think? Which is fine? Blow up in tears or burst into tears? Blow up in tears or burst into tears? Now, what do you say? Which one is fine? Burst into tears or blow up in tears? Fine. This sort of information of using words together is said to be collocation. And for vocabulary, it is one of the most important parts. Yes, burst into tears. Fine. That's excellent, Ruby. That's excellent. Burst into tears. Can you give me a sentence using burst into tears? Yes. Burst into tears. Right. Burst into tears. People commit suicide due to lockdown. Fine. You've got it. The concept of yes, with suicide, the word can co-occur is commit. That's fine. Now let's come on burst. Burst into tears. Give me a sentence using burst into tears. Yes, how can you do that? Let's see everybody's response here. Fine. Anyways, so see, this way, for example, the information of co-occurring of words together, the association of one word with another word is said to be the collocation. And that information of collocation is really important. As I already said, I have repeatedly talked about it. Another important part of building vocabulary is he burst into tears when he saw injustice. Yes, sometimes the students burst into tears when they see the result. That is, yes, these days people are bursting into tears due to lockdown. Right? Fine. Yes. Burst into tears. She bursts into tears on her father's death. Of course, this is quite shocking news for any child. Right. Yes, burst into tears. Yes, that's fine. I'm quite happy. See, this is how, as I said, this information comes through extensive reading. And this is very essential, right? And now the next technique to build your vocabulary is carry a dictionary or thesaurus. Carry a dictionary. You know, the authentic dictionary should always be there with you. For example, mostly people use, Oxford Dictionary, right? And this is much better. And through Oxford Dictionary, this is quite helping in the sense you can find out the collocations here, that what word can be associated with which word, and even it also helps us out that which word takes which preposition. Either it takes any preposition or it doesn't. For example, again, for that purpose, this Oxford Dictionary is also very helping. And apart from the dictionary, you must have thesaurus also, right? Thesaurus is also helping in the sense it can give you so many words for the one word, right? So thesaurus can help you out. For example, you need many other similar words with similar meaning on that one particular word, so this can also help you out, right? And then this can also help you to give you the opponent meanings of the same word using thesaurus, right? So both the dictionary and thesaurus should always be there. I would recommend you, right? Fine. And how often do you find yourself with free time and nothing to do? Carry a pocket thesaurus or a dictionary with you, or you'll be finding the time to go through, and you will be finding so many words of your interest, right? You can also use the dictionary or thesaurus to look up even the unfamiliar words that you come across in your daily life as well. And this is how, see, as I said, vocabulary is all about your attachment. For example, the more you are attached with the words, and the better and the clearer will be your understanding about those words. See, this was all about what was a vocabulary building techniques, and these are quite practical. As I said, you must maintain, for example, a diary or a journal while building your vocabulary, right? So again, I'm repeating those techniques very briefly so that we may go into other part of our talk, that is how to read Dawn newspaper. I will be briefly speaking about how to read Dawn newspaper. See, as far as the techniques of vocabulary are concerned, the very first technique was to explore the word origins. When you are exploring the origin of words, this is quite helpful, and this will give you an understanding of words. When you understand the one word, or when you're understanding the family of words, what will happen, for example, you will be, through one word, you can be understanding so many other words also. And read every day, because everyday reading gives you new words, and they can be the part of your vocabulary, because as I said, reading is the key to learning. And the third technique, I said, read everything and read quite often. As I said, that never means that, thank you very much, Professor Dr. Abdul Sattar Sansa from Qaeda University. He has also joined me. Thank you very much, sir. Read every... Yes. Read everything and read quite often, and then use new words in your own writing and in your own speaking. For example, the words you have gone through, the words you have worked out, all right, in your diary, when you're writing, right, you should be using those words. And when you're speaking, for example, you should also be using those same words, right? In this way, those words can be the part of your long-term memory, and they can be the part of your language as well. And then I said, make flashcards, all right? Flashcards are also very entertaining, and they're also very helping. You know, they are just like a game. For example, you have remembered 50 words, 100 words, 200 words, 300 words, right? And then you have to make sure policy that you want to remember those words, revise those words on regular basis, on weekly basis, or on fortnight, or monthly basis, or howsoever it is, right? But I would suggest you do it on weekly basis, for example, right? You have remembered 70 words. Give those flashcards to one of your relatives, to your family members, to your friends. They should be asking you, and this is how you can have the better understanding of those as well. Yes, I will be suggesting you mobile apps as well. Fine. And keep a journal, as I said, and develop practical vocabulary. Edit your own writing. As I said, once you go through anything, you should write. After you are done with the written, and then you should edit your own write-ups, right? And then showing collocation, the knowledge of collocation we have talked about in detail, along with the examples, right? And now everyone, we are into the second segment, that is about how to improve that is how to read Dawn newspaper. Yes, everyone, why do you read Dawn? Why do you read Dawn? Because mostly in Pakistan, from students, they read from one perspective, that is competitive exams, may it be at the provincial levels or at federal levels. They go for Dawn in order to be in touch with the current affairs, or they also need content for their essays as well. Yes, Ali Siddiqui has also joined us. Abdul Razak, the lecturer in English, he has also joined us. Yes, everyone, why do we read Dawn newspaper? Thank you very much, Shehzad Abbasi, one of my friends. Why do we read Dawn newspaper? Yes, I'm giving you a minute to write in the comments. Why do we use Dawn newspaper? What do we read Dawn newspaper? What is the purpose behind reading Dawn newspaper? Your own purpose, yes. Yes, I'm coming on novels, but let's discuss about Dawn newspaper. Tariq Saab has also joined us. Yes, we'll be having classes on speaking. Let's talk about Dawn newspaper. Why do you read Dawn newspaper, everyone? Yes, Alim Khwaja says to improve reading skills and to be familiar with current affairs. Fine. That's right. And to know about national, international issues. Azhar, brilliant. You are on the top today. Excellent. Yes, I want to listen from others also. I want to see their comments. Shahnawaz has also joined us. Welcome, everyone. Yes, why do we read Dawn newspaper? Because somebody says we read Dawn newspaper. As Mazhar is just said, for current affairs, for knowing what's happening in the world, fine. What else you need Dawn for? Dawn newspapers can improve our vocabulary as well, and as well as the writing also. Fine. Comprehensive exams, and it's the most authentic newspaper for the building. Yes, highly reputed. Yes, Ali says to learn, improve vocabulary, and which will be used in synonyms and antonyms and sections so as to confuse others. Not to confuse exactly, but to find, and it has just built the belief among students while other newspapers, right? A good tool, right, to improve reading comprehension, to improve vocabulary. Fine. Asaf says to get daily basis information, current issues. Brilliant. That's right. And Mazhar says to improve reading comprehension and to improve vocabulary also. That's excellent. All of you are fine. We go through Dawn for information purpose, to be abreast of what is happening around the world, and then to find out to get the content for our essay writing, or for example to improve our reading skills, And tips for reading Dawn. Yes, I'm just coming on this, Samandar. I'm coming on tips for reading Dawn newspaper. Fine. And to know the information on daily basis, the provincial news, federal news, the world news. Yes, we read Dawn newspaper. Right, to improve vocabulary. Yes, that's also fine to improve vocabulary. Now, yes, as far as the techniques of Dawn newspaper are concerned, to find out words used in different contexts, yes, it makes memorization of words easy. Yes, you're right, Shanawaz. Brilliant. Tariq Hussain says newspaper is considered as a source and that keeps us updated about current affairs. Wonderful. To pose others what we are preparing for CSS. Right, right. Everybody fine. Excellent. That's marvelous. And now, as far as the Dawn newspaper and its use is concerned, for Dawn, I would be suggesting you to go for headlines. Number one, you should have the partial look, and you need to give space on 2 pages. These are very important to me. That one page is that we call editorial, in which you will be finding columns of veteran writers across the nation, right? And these are quite helping. Go for editorial page number 1, and another page is the opinion, right? In opinion, you will be finding out, in the right corner, for example, at the left corner, you'll be finding 3 columns, right? I would suggest you to at least go through that one column that is of your interest, right? So read such columns that are of your interest, or that you can understand, that are very easy to read. Because if you are the beginner, if you're reading the Dawn newspaper for the first time, going into the lengthy articles are quite confusing, right? So for the beginners, I would suggest them to read or focus on letters to editor. So read such letters that are really interesting, or that are concerned with day-to-day issues, and they are quite striking, or they are quite easy to understand as well, right? So in Dawn, you will be focusing on 2 pages especially. Number 1 page is a sad, that is editorial, and other one is opinion. From opinion on the left corner, you'll be finding 3 columns, right? And read any one of them, or any 2 of them that are of your interest. So if no one is interested in journalistic language. Yes, dear, it is for those who have been asking me how to read Dawn newspaper. It is for them. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, see, and now when you are reading an article from Dawn, right? From columns, or even if you are reading a letter from the portion letters to the editor. So first, read an article, right? The very first thing is you have to read an article from A to Z, right? When you're reading an article, read it with full attention, right? When you're reading an article, the next thing is find new words and their uses. For example, the one special thing in Dawn is, for example, we find a word that we know the meaning of. Again, that strikes us. Again, that is of our use, in the sense, because the way that word is used in that context, this is what that matters the most. And I would say its use, how that word is used in that particular context, this is very striking. So you should find new words and their uses also, number 2. And number 3, you have read an article, you have found new words. And now number 3, composed well-structured sentences of them, right? So let's say you have found 8 words, or 10 words, or 15 words according to your limit, according to your capacity. Now what you need to do next is to compose sentences on them, right? When you are composing sentences on them, and at least you will be knowing their use in your own context. Fine. And number 4 is find the expressions in that article. Yes, we will have a session, Muhammad Ali, on speaking also. Today is on vocabulary building. Find expressions in an article, find idioms and creative writing style of a writer. You're reading an article, you can find that. You can find that creative writing style and the expressions used, because since we are empathy minded, right, as a sad reading is what that gives you input in the sense you can find new words, you can find new expressions, you can find new writing creative writing styles of various writers, because in Dawn it is not the one writer who keeps writing to there are so many writers who keep sending their write-ups to the Dawn, right? Find idioms and creative writing styles, and afterwards, so write the article in your own words and using the vocabulary you have learned. Now the next step is, for example, you have read an article and now try to use that, try to write something about that article in your own language. In your own language means try to use all those words and idioms, if any, and expressive expressions and phrasal or idiomatic language if you have gone through and you have worked on. Now try to use in your own words and using the words that you have got from that write-up. In this way, what will happen, for example, for the very first time, beginners should do that. For the very first time, you should keep doing it for a week, for a month, or for several months, I mean month 1 or 2, right? So in this way, you will be, you will be improving your flow also. And first, the words were not helping you. And in the second or third or fourth or fifth in your consecutive write-ups, what will happen? For example, you'll be finding that flow and you will be writing exactly what you mean to. And in this way, you will be using, quite new words, because after every write-up, you are finding new words and you're using them as a SAD, because you have to be very, very practical as a SAD, right? And you must make your mind that you have to read Dawn newspaper on a regular basis, every day. Read Dawn every day, right? Even if you read for 10 minutes, let's say 30 minutes or an hour, right? So once you're reading, and you should always be finding new words from Dawn, right? Work on them accordingly, the way I have talked about, right? And then use them once you are writing anything on your own. Maintain your vocabulary, as I said, using flashcards. This is it, all about how to read Dawn newspaper. But dear everyone, the things can be quite helpful, quite useful. Once you are using your approach towards learning vocabulary is very, very practical. Practical in the sense, the way, the strategies that I have talked about, you should be, your approach has to be quite realistic. In the sense that once you're going through any article, right, you should work on them and you should maintain your diary, your journal or any register, and along with reading, you should also write as well. Because before we start our writing class, vocabulary is what that matters the most. And vocabulary is what that is quite helping. And vocabulary is what that helps us in understanding speaking, in understanding listening, and in understanding the text also, in producing the text as well. What you mean to say, right, and it can help you out as well. This is how vocabulary plays an important role in our language skills as well. So everyone, thank you very much for your active participation. See you soon. Thank you very much.